Hello. This presentation is about the incidence and survival of adult orbital tumors in Germany. And actually, we have extended the definition of orbital tumors here to include also the conjunctiva and the lacrimal gland. So you can say also some of the adnexal tumors. From our previous studies, we have found that there is an increase of the orbital tumors over time since 1957 to 2004, then followed by a decrease in the incidence. And actually, this incidence was led by the increase in incidence of lymphomas. And we have found that there is also a difference in survival between the different tumors affecting this region, the orbital region. And it showed that carcinomas had the lowest survival compared to lymphomas and melanomas. Actually, melanomas had also a low survival, but higher than the carcinomas. So we decided to study the incidence and survival of orbital, conjunctival, and lacrimal gland tumors in Germany, especially that this is a gap in the literature that was not studied before. And we have extracted the data for Hamburg, Niedersachsen, Bremen, Saarland, Brandenburg, Mecklenburg-Vorpommern, Sachsen, and Thüringen between 2004 and 2013 from the National Cancer Registry of Germany and the survival data from the German Cancer Research Center. And we have classified the tumors according to the ICD-10 classification for histology and topography. We have found that 47.8% of the tumors came from the conjunctiva, while orbit showed 38.7%. And the incidence of the three groups of tumors, according to site, were different between the states. So in the conjunctiva group, it showed the highest incidence in Germany, and the Niedersachsen incidence was the highest in whole Germany, compared to also orbital tumors, which showed more incidence in the eastern states, while the lacrimal gland tumors were almost the same over the most of the states, and showed lower survival than the tumors of both orbit and conjunctiva. And we have found that between the two periods of 2004-2008 and the 2009 to 2013, an increasing incidence of the conjunctival tumors and a slight increase in the incidence of orbital tumors. So we decided to check for the difference between male and female, and actually we have found an increase in female incidence of conjunctival tumors to be highest than males incidence. And also we have found that there is a decrease in orbital malignancies in females compared to males, while the lacrimal gland tumors showed a decreasing pattern in both groups. So we have decided then to study the incidence of the tumors according to age group, and we have found an increasing incidence in both conjunctival and orbital tumors, higher than the increase in lacrimal gland tumors. And actually, all of them showed a peak at the age group between 60 and 74. And when we dissected the three sites according to gender, we have found that males' incidence of all tumors was higher in conjunctiva and orbital tumors, while the reverse happened in the lacrimal gland tumors, which was interesting for us. And the peak was stable at the age group between 60 and 74, except for the females in the conjunctiva site, where they showed a stable increase over time. And by studying the histology of all the patients according to age group, we have found that lymphomas and carcinomas showed the highest increase over time. And actually, lymphomas showed the highest increase with a peak at 60 to 74, followed by carcinoma and malignant melanoma. Then we have decided to gather the three groups and study the tumors by age and site and histology. And we have found that conjunctival tumors showed an increase over time in malignant melanoma, followed by carcinomas, then lymphomas. While in the lacrimal gland group, we have found that carcinomas showed the highest increase, followed by lymphomas. And in the orbital tumors group, we have found that lymphomas showed the highest increase, especially at the age group between 60 and 74, followed by carcinomas. Then we have decided to study the survival of all tumors. And at 5-year overall survival, we have found that malignant melanoma showed the lowest survival, followed by carcinomas and lymphomas. But at later time points, for example, at 10 years after diagnosis, we have found that almost all tumors showed a similar survival. And this was maybe related to the confounders at this time point, related to age at diagnosis and so on. And in lacrimal gland tumors, the lymphomas showed a higher survival than the carcinomas, while in the orbital malignancies, in general, lymphomas showed a higher survival than carcinomas. And actually, due to all these confounders, we have decided to conduct a multivariate Cox regression model that showed, with adjustment for age, gender, and morphology, that lymphomas showed the best survival, followed by melanomas and carcinomas. Then came sarcomas at the end. And with comparing the sites in the Cox regression model, we have found either by adjusting for histology or not adjusting for histology that conjunctival tumors have the best survival, followed by the lacrimal gland and orbital tumors. So in conclusion, orbital malignancies in Germany showed a higher proportion in old age group than internationally published rates, while the survival rates were lower. The patients with orbital malignancies showed the worst survival, followed by lacrimal gland and conjunctiva. And patients with sarcomas showed the worst survival among other malignancies. Thank you for listening. And this is my email if you would like to cooperate in future projects, or if you would like to get more information about this presentation.